When I was the CTO of a company that I had founded, I would present to my board of directors every 2 or 3 months. Now, the board members were people who had trusted me with over $5 million of their money. And they trusted me all based on some PowerPoint slides that I had created for them. Now, the board members were focused on one thing, and that was getting a return on their money. One day, they wanted a return. Now, at one of our very first board meetings, I made a presentation about the novel chemical reactor that we were developing. Now, it converted diesel fuel into hydrogen and carbon monoxide for use in diesel engine after treatment systems, emission control systems. During the presentation, I explained how an internal part of the reactor that we'd been testing, how this part had failed. Now, I explained this with colored finite element analysis images showing peak temperatures, how the temperature was over 1500 degrees C. I explained about the material properties that's required to handle these kind of temperatures. I handed around prototype parts made of this high performance material that we had selected to use. Then I even passed around the actual part that had failed in our testing. Well, I went on to explain how using root cause analysis techniques, we had determined that the machining process used to make this prototype part had induced stresses into the part's material. Not an uncommon event. This happens all the time, but one that ultimately led, in our case, has led to our premiumly priced material cracking. Now, I gotta tell you, I was in full geek mode. It was a complex explanation, but worth all the prep work because I wanted to be totally transparent about this failure, to build trust with my board of directors who had trusted me with lots of their money. After the board meeting, when the other board members had left, my lead investor and I were talking, and well, he explained a simple mental model that from that day on, really, I used when communicating with my board of directors. And I even realized over time that I could use this mental model to communicate about pretty much everything to pretty much everyone. Everyone has something they want to get out of a conversation. When people are talking to you, there's something they want to get. And if you aren't delivering what that someone wants from the conversation, well, they're going to either, one, just tune you out, totally tune you out. Two, get frustrated with you. Or three, kind of write you off as incompetent, somebody they don't even want to deal with. They will not see you as being valuable or worthy of their respect. Now, needless to say, you don't want any of this happening. You don't want this happening to you. You need to deliver the pieces of information they want, the information that is most valuable to them. You want them to feel, I got what I wanted. This guy is good. This guy is good. The important thing you need to know is that there are two pieces of information that are much more important to people than all the other information you could ever give them combined. I'm Eric Johannes, and I teach what 30 plus years of product development taught me. I teach the stuff I wish I had known when I started my career. This stuff is not quantum mechanics. It's just that nobody has told you these secrets. And that's the stuff I'm trying to teach so that you can be more successful in your career. Now, before I explain this mental model, please consider sharing this video with one person you think could benefit. It'll be valuable to them, yet it will cost you nothing to do this sharing. I will now explain a mental model that you will find insanely practical and immediately valuable. Now, I call this mental model black box communication. And watch to the end because I'll provide a one-page screenshot that you can take away with you for your own records. Okay, now Back to the board meeting. My lead investor told me that VCs really only care about two things. First, the first thing they care about, how much money will they get back? The return on their investment, the multiplier on their investment. And two, when will they get the return on their investment? So how much are they going to get back? And secondly, when are they going to get that return? So what my lead investor told me was, think of it like a black box. The investors are putting money into the black box based on what you told them they're going to get back out, what their multiplier X on their investment is going to be, and based on the time T it will take for them to collect when you eventually sell the business and they can cash in. Now, inside the black box, everything is up to you. Sure, they're going to care and they'll ask questions, but generally, their questions will be about supporting, they'll want information to support the two most important pieces of information that they most care about: the investment return and when they're going to collect their money, the X and the T. Now, my lead investor finished up by saying, always lead with news about how X and T have changed positively or negatively. Then you can explain why they have changed. And finally, state what you and the team are doing to either mitigate the negative or multiply the positive. So this explanation really helped me. It helped me so much. It made total sense. It was easy, but it had just never had been explained to me like that before. From then onward, I always considered the one or two things a person most cares about. Usually the first thing they care about is, what are they going to get from you? What are they looking to you for? And the second thing is, when will they get it? And if I'm not sure what it is that's important to somebody, I just ask. I just simply ask them, what is it that's important to them? And then I go ahead and I provide the information that's going to support them, going to explain about what they care about most. And I let them ask questions. They're going to ask questions. People will ask about what they care about. Now, the mental aspect you want to keep in mind is that when we are deep in the weeds of our work, we typically provide way more details than a person asking the question wants to know, or really often is even capable of understanding. This is especially true when the news is bad. When the news is bad, we have an internal drive that wants to convince others that we're still competent and not a failure, that we are still here for them to provide value. When you feel the need to over-explain arising within you, just keep your mouth shut and let them ask the questions for the info they most want. Let them ask for what they want, and then you can give them clean, simple, direct answers to provide what they're looking for. So there you have it, another non-technical skill that will enhance your ability to create value for others and thereby increase your compensation, your career opportunities, and your joy at work every single day. So comment below or email me. Tell me what was most valuable about this video for you, and ask me a question. Tell me what topic you would like me to make a video about. So now go create some value for others.